Hello everybody, and welcome to a tutorial in which I model for you how you can best get your credit for our classes, whether it's the climate mitigation and adaptation class or it is the Sustainability Design Lab Special Topics, QGIS and World Building class, or really basically for any of my classes. When you start doing outside work, when you're reading, when you're working on skills, when you're doing research, you can record that onto a video and then you can get your 2 points per hour credit trade that we offer. And that's based on the assumption that in America, a 40-hour work week is full-time work, that full-time students are taking a course load of 4 classes in a semester, and that each class is a 3-credit-hour class where it expects, as most colleges do, 3 in-class hours with the faculty and fellow students, and then 3 times 3 minimum outside of class doing research, homework, doing studying, doing making deliverables. That's 9 hours total that you spend, 9 or 10 that is A-level work. So I trade 2 points per hour, so that if you put in 10 hours a week, you get 20 points per week. And since the A-level grade in our courses is 320 points over 16 weeks over the semester, then making 20 points a week is what you need. And if you didn't produce anything that you could use for your credit, if you document your hours and we see that you've invested the time, you can still trade those hours for a grade. And if you have 20 points a week for 16 weeks, you can trade those 160 hours for 320 points and get an A, a well-deserved A. So I'm using OBS Studio to do this, and you just set up a video capture, as you can see me turning it on and off, and a display capture, and make sure the microphone is working, and you have a start and stop recording, and you have a pause record button. You can access the start and stop and pause by using hotkeys. So I use Alt-R to start and stop it, and pause it Alt-T. So while I'm working, I can do that. And then you can go ahead and record onto your desktop and then upload it to YouTube and then get your credit for the number of hours that you've put in. So we're starting with me modeling how I'm learning QGIS Lesson 1's Global Analysis Exploring Global Climate Model Output from the Geographic Information Systems program, NCAR. And it's a free lesson with 8.32 megabytes of exercises, maps, and data. And you click on that and it shows up in your folder, and then you unzip it, as I've done here, and this contains in there a PDF with the instructions, and then data, and then maps. Okay, and so I've opened up the PDF here. I'm, of course, recording how long it takes me to do all of this, and so I've opened that up, and it's called Lesson 1 Global Analysis in Quantum GIS, and this is the first time I've seen this, so I'm literally blundering my way through the way you would if you were doing it, and I'm just recording it so that we have a record of the mistakes I make, of the epiphanies I have, of the frustrations, of the successes, and as we get through. And you can do this for all of my tutorials and all my lectures as well. Just record yourself doing it. So here it tells me that we want to start a QGIS. It's very basic, so I'm going to go into QGIS, start a file in QGIS. I'll close everything else I've got because I've been doing a lot of different work on model building and whatnot in QGIS. And let's just make sure that we close all of those windows. And we got that. And I'm going to save this. All right, and I'm going to actually start a new project. No. Let's say yes. Do we want to save the project? No. All right, so this is what version 3.38 looks like. If you look at, I'm using QGIS 3.38 Grenoble. So if you're close to that, then you'll have similar things on your screen to what I do. It looks like the authors of this tutorial that I'm looking at were using a different version, QGIS 2, which is quite an old version. So there's going to be some confusion because things always change. but we'll try to get the basics down. All right, so hover your mouse, see what they do. Okay, I know what they do. View toolbars. I got that. I don't need that. It says I might need to have. Oh, it says you don't need digitizing and label. Well, I don't care about that. I mean, we can do exactly as they say. It says go to over toolbars and view toolbars. And it says turn off digitizing. And it says to go to toolbars and turn off label. Not sure why I need to do that, but I guess it makes the screen a little simpler. And then what do they tell us to do? They tell us to, it makes it so it's not so cluttered, and rearrange your toolbars. Yeah, okay. Start by adding data into QGIS desktop and symbolizing it. So they say click on add vector layer, and file is selected, click the browse button, and we want to find S3 shapefiles OGR. That's what it's got to be set to. And then we want to add century02.shape and then click open. All right, so let's go and do that. Let's go and we're going to go to, I've already lost my train of thought. We're going to add vector layer. So go to layer and add vector layer, and it's file, and then we're going to find that file in our downloads folder, no doubt. That's where I saved it. And it's going to be in, I thought that's where I downloaded it. Let me look and see. My QGIS was in, oh, it's in a different downloads folder. So how about, to make it easier for me, if I go to that folder and I copy the folder, cut it out of this folder, and put it into my general, I'm going to put this into a new folder that I can access easily, which I'm going to call GIS for Climate Tutorial. And by recording yourself, by the way, you also know what you did, so you won't lose things. Where did I put that folder? So now that's in there, and it's got in it the three things, the data and the maps and this tutorial. So now that I've got that, I can go to my folder, GIS for Climate Tutorial, and it looks like they want it to be Century 2. Although that is Open Office, but that's just, is that a shapefile? It's a spreadsheet. So where is a shapefile? Let's see again what they want us to bring in. So it says make sure the file type is set to S3 shapefile, OGR. So let's look at that before we bring this in. It doesn't say there, it just says file, encoding, automatic. Maybe that's what they want us to set. But this is automatic now, so I don't know about we'd have to. Is there an S3 thing here? Extended. You know what? I'm going to let it handle itself by itself. I'm not going to mess with that. I want to get century.shape. That's what I want to bring in. So let's see if they have one that is for that. See if it's under maps. No. And let's go and see if it's under data. And if there's a shapefile there. So there's a crops shapefile. Let me sort by the shapefiles and see a century02.shape. That seems to be the one they want. And now it says encoding. So let's see if they give us a clue there. File type is set to S3 shapefiles.
The volcano is shooting virus.
Well, consult S3 for technologies, encoding. Keep just type default. There's all these defaults. It may just work with the defaults. So let's add it and see. Yeah, it came in. All right, so it's not the same color. If we want it to match theirs, then we can go in here and pick a different blue. Yeah, it's kind of neat. And now that we have that in, we're going to save this project. And I'll save it as in the folder GIS for climate tutorial. And what was the name of this whole marvelous thing? Or does it tell us what we're going to save it as? It doesn't tell it. So let's just call it Exploring Global Climate Model Output. Right in that same folder. All right. Yay for that. And now let's see what next we need to do. So you got the map. It's displayed the default symbology, all the countries in the world using the same color. Working with tables and selections, a powerful aspect of GIS. Each spatial feature, each country is in a row in a database, and each row can have many attributes associated with it in order to better describe the feature. Explore attribute non-spatial information, open the attribute table, and we see all of that, and then click the gray box number 0. You'll see the entire row is highlighted. Select the feature in the table. You can see the map. Finland, the polygon selected is highlighted in the map. And it says features total. So let's take a look at that. So we want to right click on this and we want to open the attribute table. And there's Finland. It's not 0 on ours, it's 1, but there it is. And then when I click on it, it does turn yellow as they said that it would. It says that it shows this great information here. Square miles, color map, blah, 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 blah. Current type, sovereign. So there's a lot of data associated with this. That's marvelous. Let's see what's next. Now you select as highlighted the map. The number of selected features is noted along the top of the attribute table. It says features total filtered selected 1. You can select ranges of features by holding down the shift key, clicking another row, or using the control button, blah, blah, blah. Selection is a powerful tool, and it can be used for location and non-spatial information. So let's see if we position the attribute table. You can see the selected features. Back in the map view, click on select feature.
Oh gosh, look at this.
All right, so what are they asking for here? They're saying that it gets highlighted, and they suggest that we can look up here and see. We're supposed to be able to see something. I don't see what they're saying that we can see. We have that highlighted. It's maybe because it's a different version. So maybe this has something to do with the version, because it's saying that we will see. It doesn't really tell us where. Up here on the attribute table. That's what they're talking about. So that is here. And yes, it does say that there's 1 selected and 251 total. That's what they're talking about. Great. All right, that's what they were talking about there. And then we go down here, position the attribute table. You can see the selected features in the map. Back in the map view, click on the select feature tool on the attributes toolbar, and then go to select single feature. And then you want to be able to draw a box around a few countries in South America. And so we will go here and here. It's supposed to show both of them. There we go. Position them so we can see it. So it'd be great to have 2 screens, wouldn't it? That just really makes a huge difference. But you got that, and then they want us to do South America. So you go up here to your selection and select features, and then we lost our table. So then we go around here and we say, all right, Uruguay, whatever. So if you want to know what these things are, you can select those features and then look at the table, and you'll find that the one that you've selected shows up somewhere. should show up as selected. Ah, there it is. And so it's Bolivia. That one there, and then this one here. You would have to go. I think you can also selecting the feature, but then you would have to open the attribute table to see what that country is. And I don't see a way to make this thing pop out on top all the time. Let me see if this does it. Actions, no. Dock. All right, dock attribute table. So now it's docked. That's helpful. And then we can find that that's Argentina. And that one there is Chile. All right, and then if you grab a couple of them, then they all show up there. Or you can just select them from here and say, all right, so that one or that one, St. Vincent, they're really tiny, so they're not showing up really well. But if we look at Venezuela, it shows up. If we shift click, we can add Grenada to that. If we come down and we add to it Belize, and Belize shows up. So that's all they're trying to get you to do. That's basic skills. So we can move beyond that. And then blah, and then we say move selection to top button. So then you can find it easier and move them up to the top of the table. So what they're saying is, if we did say, I want to get this country, all the northern countries here, draw that around there, shift click and get those. Didn't want Brazil, I just want these countries here. Then I could move them to the top by going to move selection to top. And when I'm at the top of the table, bingo, they're all in there. So that's what they're asking for there. That's that skill. And then show all features, drop down, well, and then you can say show selected features. That's another way to get to it. So they're teaching us how to navigate this so that if you were somewhere here, you'd have a drop down, which is zoom map to the selected rows. That's fine. Dock attribute table, actions, conditional formatting. Where's that show all features thing? Add features, select all, deselect all features, invert selection, select filter, move selection to the top. And then pan map to the selected rows. I guess that's if you were like there and you wanted to find out where you were there. But where is this? Oh, show all features down here. And then show selected features, and then bang, you're only seeing those features. Okay, I got that. That's fine. Show features visible on the map, blah, blah, blah. All right. So there's that skill. I got that. So now, working with qualitative symbology and layer properties. You can create color ramps in order to suit your data symbology needs. So you want to click on it, select properties, and then we want to go to style and what they want us to do. Every country is displayed in the same color, so move the layer transparency slider to the right, select 50% and click apply. 0, you're going to see the transparency, 50%. Do you notice the difference in the transparency? Fill in the outline, transparency below, if for the fill only, and change the fill color to blue. All right, so they're asking us to go in here and double click on here, and then they're saying, what does it look like if the opacity is made half and you apply it, and it's opacity half? What if you put the opacity to 0 and you apply it? Everything disappears except that's which is selected. And that's a cool thing, by the way. If I hit OK on that, look at how when I go to like Aruba and then zoom to the Aruba feature, which would be zoom to the selected rail, boom, there's Aruba, right? Anytime I click on something to select it, it's going to appear even though the map is transparent. So whatever I select on here, I'm going to get more and more of the world. So that's fun. Let's now get it back up to a 70, 80%. And apply. There we go. Now what do they want us to do? Then do you notice the difference? Fill in the outline, transparency below if for fill only. And let's see, color, save styles, layer transparency, layer rendering. So just a fill and a gradient fill. Solid line. And that. And you can change stuff and apply it. And there's many different options that you can use for the map there. Layer rendering, the opacity for the render is there. Blending mode, lighten, okay, not necessarily needed here. A style, load style. Okay, so we've played around with that a bit. What next? Next, another way to display it is by displaying each unique polygon with a unique color. So don't use single symbol, go to categorized and then select country name and then hit classify. All right, so we are going to go again to the symbology. And instead of using single symbol, we're going to go to categorized. And then for the value, country name there. And then what does it say about the color ramp? Back in the layer property dialog, classify, apply. So pick classify. Where do I find that? Sorry, I just got lost. Categorized, classify. And with all of that, let's use the gradient blue. And then let's hit apply. So yeah, that's interesting. It's using a symbol. What are they suggesting? Single symbol and category symbology. This works well for qualitative data. Qualitative describe features that are not numerical in nature. Country name as a qualitative attribute. And then they want to change the categories, label back to single symbol. Yeah, but I wanted to see. Well, they don't give you any information on. If I did random colors, I could get reds, for example, and apply those. If I did, instead of a color ramp, continuous, I did discrete, then I might get discrete colors. That's if I did a color ramp. If I did spectral, I would get spectral and discrete applied and go that way. So I guess that's all fun stuff. So now we go to, they want us to go to countries, qualitative attribute, go back to single symbol, and then simple fill, and then solid fill style, no brush. I can never keep all that information in my head, and I really wish I had two screens so I could do this, but you might be in the same position I'm in. So we would like us to go back to single symbol and simple fill, no brush for the fill style. And what's that gradient fill doing there? Oh, they only have a simple fill. And we have more than one. We have a gradient fill as well. So let's take that out and then go into there. And no brush. And let's see what that. Oh, that's the fill. It's empty. That's weird. That's no fun. Simple fill is what we get. But fill color is red. Really? And why isn't it red? Why? Fill style, no brush. Dense. Apply. Nothing shows up. Solid. Apply. Nothing shows up. Is there something wrong? We're on simple fill. You got fill color, you got stars, you got this, you got this, you got this. Lighten. Let's go normal. Apply. There we go. So you gotta watch out for your blending modes. Things can get messed up. Alright, so we have a solid and we have a fill style, but they said no brush. That's got no brush. What does that do? Simple fill, solid, fill style, select no brush. Click apply and note the country is now displayed as outlines with no fill color. Click on the labels and then currently labels are turned off. Click the fields option. And then notice the fields and their type of definition. So we got to go to click on the labels. We're talking about in here. Labels, is this labels? No labels. All right, we'll go single labels. And what does it want us to do with that? Click the fields option. Click general, change the layer name from country 2 to countries. Country name is now going to be changed to countries without a period. All right, good. And what else? Countries, click apply, click the display option. Apply. Click the display option. Is this display? Is this display? Is this display? What is the display option? 3D view, control selective, control feature, source, general information, diagrams. Where's display? There's display. All right, display. Display name. Change the field to country name. And so we got country name. I thought that's what we already had. We still have country name. All right, and then apply and OK. Didn't do much of anything. I don't know what that was about. Notice now that the table of contents, the country layer's name has changed. Table of contents, TOC. Table of contents, eh? Where's the table of contents? I don't see a table of contents. Do you see a table of contents? I don't. I don't see a table of contents. Table of contents, a browser. Where's the table of contents? In the styling layer panel. Hold on, we're going to find out. All right, so I was flummoxed by this idea of the table of contents where the layer name is changed, but I then queried ChatGPT, and it told me that in our version 3.8, TOC is the layers panel. So this is just a discrepancy between the old version. So here it is, but it didn't change for me. So I would rename the layer countries like that manually. I don't know where that was supposed to change under the styling because it didn't, but display name, country name. So I don't know. There it is, layer name, countries now. Remember, that's where I was supposed to change it. Because you could change it here. You can call it countries of the world. And see if that, yeah, and then that changes it there. Okay, yay, hooray. That's superly wonderful. Now, it says go to the Identify tool and then click Mexico, the 51st state. And then you're supposed to say, what is the population of Mexico? Golly, all right then. So we go up here to the identification tool there and find Mexico and click on it. Mm. And then the population of the country is there, 923808850, and then you would write that down. You can also, by the way, right click here and go to the attribute table, and then you can search for the row, and then we want to bring it to the top. Isn't that how we're supposed to do it? Isn't it? We've selected it, so shouldn't it bring it up to the top? Move selection to the top. Yeah, but it didn't, did it? I've selected it. Maybe I haven't really selected it. Maybe you need to be on. Maybe what you need to do is to be on this selection tool here, select feature. Yeah, it has to turn yellow in order to do that. And then when you open the attribute table, which we should probably dock, just make it easier. Then if we put features on top, it's up there, and then you can scroll your way through until you find population, and there it is, the 923 whatever, and you can grab that. So there's a couple of ways to do it, but they're suggesting that we use the information tool and click on it in the pop-up here. You can see it. You can also go to a field table there, clicking on that. So I've shown my prowess. I've shown that I can follow directions and do what I'm told. Yay. All right. Close the identify dialog box. Working with quantitative symbology. Now we have qualitative, which was all that. Now we have quantitative, numerical information, counts and measurements, and we're going to explore the options for symbolizing quantitative data. So we're going to add a vector layer and add the file temperature change mid shape. All right, let's do that. Let's go here. We don't need any more to have our attribute table open. All right, and I'll undock that. But we're going to add a layer, and it's going to be a vector layer. And we're going to go to find temperature change mid. I think that's what I wanted to find. Temperature change mid. Yeah, that's the one. So go here, say open, and that's a DBF. Don't want to put in DBF. Supposed to click on the wrong one. We want to click on temperature change. We need it so there. We need it as a shape file. There it is, temperature change mid shape. Add that. Yeah. Oh, I added twice. I added it. All right. Let me get rid of this one. Yep. All right. Well, look at that. What on earth is that? What a mess. You notice that it comes in on top of the map, and let's see what they say about it. Map data in the map viewer displayed from the bottom up. However, when you add new data, it's placed at the top layer. Since we added temperature change, our map is now being displayed on top of the countries layer. Yay. In the table of contents, click the countries layer and drag it above the temperature change mid layer. All right, so click on the countries of the world one and drag it up, and then you see it like that. All right. What does that do for us? Yep, okay, the temperature change mid-layer contains information for each cell about the annual mean temperature change in degrees Celsius between the present annual mean temperature and the middle of the 21st century. Ooh, boy. As projected by CCSM using the RCP 8.5 emission scenario. Well, we're certainly going to pass that up. Ain't no way we're going to get this good at a change. It's going to be much more catastrophic. We're all going to die. This data set came from the NCAR climate change scenarios, and they give us a nice portal there. Can't read that way because it's not written right. So I'll go here. Say that. And then, yeah, there we have it. QGIS program at NCAR. Great stuff. Oh my gosh, you know what? I got to take this and I got to put this in. Yeah, put this in the course. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, say meanwhile, also check out this website and reflect. That is the one, right? The home page for it. It's a different home page. Where were we? Where did we open that up? Can't tell. We probably opened up in, yeah, in here. So why is it that it won't take it? No, it is. It's the right one. It's just showing up. Close this. It's just showing up like that. And then I can go link to it. And say apply. All right, so we all know GIS is super important for all this. So what are we saying then? We get that. Ooh, gotta go back. Gotta go back. Gotta go back. It may be moved. What? It means moved. Is it moved? All right, gotta find that again. Seems like we lost it. There it is. Oh, that's in downloads. Yeah, because I'd actually moved it to QGIS in the climate tutorial. That's where I want to open it from. All right, where were we? We were at putting in that temperature data. Temperature data, and then we're going to open the attribute table for it. Right click on it, open the attribute table, and there is the lat longs and the atlas, which I guess is a temperature thing. Atas rather, Atas. Let's talk to this, make it easier to see. All right, and now it tells us to find and click on the field Atas. An arrow appears which points up, and the data is now sorted ascending. So let's do that. See it descending. So you'll notice in some areas temperature change exceeds 5 degrees Celsius. Oh my gosh, that's bad. We're supposed to stay within 1.5. Not really bad. We'll symbolize C where temperatures change may be most severe. That really rots for that to be happening. So here's ATAS. Click on it. This is ascending. So wherever this is, and it doesn't really show it, does it? Like, I can't see it. I should get rid of that feature there. If we zoom to select feature, we zoom to the feature, the lowest temperature is that pixel there, way out in between the Atlantic Ocean. You know, I need to change the symbology here and make it a little bit opaque, less opaque. Seems like it's taking all day. Okay, there it is. So that's that little cell there is the coldest, and if we start looking up in the negatives, and we select all of the negatives, which is up to here, then that is the coldest region projected. And then the worst region, they're saying, is if we were to go up like this, this is where it's over 5 degrees. Oh my goodness gracious, over 5 degrees, over 5 degrees. Well, these over 5 degree areas are way up in here. Oh, actually, it's way up in the north. That's what they're experiencing, right? The Arctic Circle is having the worst temperature changes of all. The only reason Mexico is highlighted there is because I've still got that attribute table open somewhere, and I need to deselect everything. deselect. How do I deselect it? I want to deselect. Please let me deselect what I deselected. I don't want it to be selected. I want to deselect. There's no way to deselect. Clear results. That didn't help. That's just that. How do I deselect it from the attribute table? Should be another attribute table here somewhere. I go to countries of the world and I open my attribute table and then I zoom to, or actually I can bring the thing to the top. There it is, Mexico, and just get out of it. I like deselect it, darn it. Well, I don't have Mexico selected anymore. I've got Zimbabwe selected. But I want to unselect all of it. And there's obviously a way to do it, and I'm forgetting how. Zoom map, select feature, invert selection. Deselect all features. Good, there it was. That was the deselect all feature. You got to learn these tiny little icons there. All right, so that's all deselected in there. But that's the hottest places on the world. So let's continue down and let's go all the way to all the 4-degree catastrophic areas. Better if we could use a filter to do the whole thing, which we could, and we'll learn that. I'm sure they're going to teach that. So I in turn will teach it. But yeah, even if we just go over to there, like, ooh, that's the band of the earth that's like screwed, so to speak. Ain't that something? So maybe I can do this on my own. If I do an expression and I say greater than or is, or I don't know, atas feature geometry function editor expression feature is it? You have to know what feature it is. Feature. Like this doesn't tell us what feature that is, darn it. So I wanted to like click on this thing and I want to select features, select all using an expression. So I want to say that I have to tell it what feature. What is that? What does that mean? Is that all the... That's not helpful. Kind of stinks. How many features are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes, it jumps. It goes 0, 1, and then 10. Current feature being evaluated. Feature. Feature greater than... That doesn't work. So you have to do equals plus. Come on, I really want it to be feature greater than. It only has is equals. Even that doesn't work. If I say greater than or equal to, greater than equal to, and then say 4. Doesn't help. Preview 0. Select features. Yeah, I don't know how to use this tool yet because I've gone beyond the tutorial. But I do see like how important this is. So let's go on to the tutorial. I always jump ahead of myself. Close the attribute table, double click on the temperature tons and then up there to make sure the style option is activated, and then change it from single symbol to graduated and select ATAS. So go here and we will go to here and we will go from single symbol to graduated. And for the for the who's a watch it, we come in here, click on the column, select ATAS. Column, select ATAS. For the column, where's the column? Column, where are you, column? Where are you? I don't see you, column. Value. They may have changed the names, you know? Yeah, they did change the name. Now it's not called column, it's called ATAS. And apply it. And okay, and nothing happens. Well, that was anticlimactic. Climactic. Color ramp, precision. Let's see if they give us any more clues. Make sure the style option's activated. And Can we zoom in on this? Because I can't see it. Style. Style graduated. I did that. Note that the colors are associated with data values, so naturally choose the number of classes to display mode. Change the click the change button for symbol to open the symbol selector, and then click the simple fill layer. Change the border from solid line to no pen. This will eliminate any border from being displayed. Oh, you can try it. Maybe they wanted this attribute table closed. I don't know. Seems like I could close that, but it ain't doing what we want. Should I bring it on top? That doesn't do a darn thing. It's underneath. But symbol fill, and then it wants us to do it as a border style from solid line to no pen. So where's border style? Simple fill is correct, but there's got to be a border style. It's known as stroke style. Solid line to what? Names have changed. To symbol layer tape border style, solid line to no pen. Does that even exist anymore? Stroke style, solid line, there is no pen. So that ain't right. If we go to here, that doesn't do anything. It's the simple fill we were looking at. And the fill style is that, and the color is, just pick that. And join style bevel, solid line. It certainly doesn't give one confidence. So using the value for Atlas, legend format, histogram, classes, equal count, natural breaks. It doesn't say we should mess with any of that. So I don't know why it all changed all of a sudden. If I do the ID, that doesn't do anything either. Go back to single symbol, and it does that. Show Y is graduated. I do categorized, and do random colors in a color app. That doesn't do anything. So graduated, it's always disappearing for some reason. Leave Atlas, apply it, draw effects, color, feature, rendering color, try that, but nothing. Well, that is weird, because it's supposed to work, and it ain't working. I'm sure that will happen to you too. Volume on that. Let's see. For color ramps like ORD, seven things have changed. Style, graduated, color ramp, style. So, where's style? Settings, graduated, style. There's no style there. Everything's different. Symbol, simple fill, fill style. I don't know. Diagonal. Does that do any good at all? Nothing. Color ramp. So where's this color ramp? Graduated. Column is Atlas. Style layer transparency. ORD mode is equal interval. How do you find ORD? Discrete, continuous. Excuse me. All right. I'm just not seeing ORD. See a plot. That's fun, but that doesn't help me with this ORD thing. Saturation, hue. You can see the opacity. The different types, continuous and discrete, but nothing for ORD under that, and the symbol it's just not showing up for anything. That's got to be the way that you're picking the values out of here and then classify. Well, let's try that. Well, we got something. It's not displaying, but it does have something. It worked now. All right, that was weird. So we had to classify, and now our color ramp, whatever ORD means, it needs to be much more pretty breaks, advanced symbol. What if we go for a simple gradient? Oh, I mean, I guess we can change that and change the colors as hot as we want. 5 degrees. And then for this, we can make it cooler. So we could change that. So I guess we could be taking each of these division lines and changing where they are on the color ramp, and then move our way toward the hottest, which would be I get familiar with this stuff. Something like that maybe, and then apply it, and then you can start to see the differences in color in the hottest areas. But I really want this part here to be, if it's graduated, I want the hottest area. See, that's where it'd be nice to have this ORD thing, whatever it means. If we do discrete, then you would have to, and then apply that. See how that works out. So the cooler areas and the hotter areas. Funny that the poles are the hottest, according to some of this. If I could only get this to be like that. Maybe because I'm using a graduated, I don't want a graded fill. I want a simple fill. And I want to be getting better all the time. So yeah, we can play around with this all day and see where the most dangerous spots are as we change the symbology. It's just a bit frustrating until one has really worked it out, like what to put into the simple fill, whether it's solid or no brush, and what the stroke color should be. And so there's finding ways to display the data and see who's going to be most in trouble by climate change. So I would not want to live in Antarctica or the Arctic Circle, and it looks like you wouldn't want to live in the United States. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if this is, I'm looking at this properly. It seems I am. according to this. Climate change will affect these areas the most. Well, that makes a lot of sense. North Africa for sure, and South Sahel, and parts of the Australian desert and South America. It looks like most of the United States is in pretty bad shape. So that's interesting, but let's go on and see if we can learn more about this. So I didn't know what ORD, orange red, I couldn't find that color ramp anywhere. But it's supposed to be, the model is supposed to be equal interval and classify and apply. So wherever that is, equal count, here's equal interval, and then classify. So we've done that. I don't know this ORD, like I said. I don't see ORD unless we do color 1 orange. We'd have to do that ourselves then. We'd have to say, all right, so orange would be the current color, and then the red would be the other color, and then say okay. That's our own orange red, and then apply it. But it didn't change anything here, so the color ramp is it's not changing like we'd like. So when you click on this, change color, you can say that it's not showing up, maybe because the symbol is that one. It's not solid. That would certainly show it, wouldn't it? Well, there you go. Looky there. And then here you'd have to change the symbol for that to a solid. Fill color that could be less red, maybe. And you just keep applying these things, isn't it? Yeah. So that 1 point, this is over the 1.5, and if that were the issue, that over 1.5 is still pretty dire, and we put that in pink, we'd again have to change this to solid and see. Yeah, all those danger areas there. And cold, if that can be said to be really cold, that would be something a blue. But again, you'd have to change this. I don't know why this is always no brush. And fill color, be something like that. And then say OK, and apply that. So that's where you need to hang out, in those areas there. And that's pretty cool. So, moving on. For the color ramp, the quantile, change the mode to quantile. Equal interval, classify, apply. I don't know if we've done that. Classify, equal interval, classify. Well, we did that already. And then apply. So we've done that. All right, we don't need to belabor that much more. Oh, change the mode to quantile. I did not change the mode to quantile. Quantile, where's quantile? Quantile, equal interval, classify, advanced. Symbol levels, no. Normal, I don't see quantile anywhere. Symmetric classification, no. No, I don't see quantile. So I'm going to ignore it and move on. You can see where I have difficulties. And that's good for what you're doing. If you're following along, then you're making your stumble through trying to understand the directions, and you'll run into problems, and then you'll decide where you want to give up. Never give up. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Take a look at your map, play around with different classification modes and colors through the mode drop down. There's natural breaks, Jenks method, quantile, equal interval, standard deviation, pretty breaks, easily understood by non-statisticians. And then change the mode to natural breaks. So we're going to do what they say here. So we've played around, we're going to continue playing around as it said that we should try to do. This is driving me nuts. I don't want it to be the symbol. The symbol has got to be something that is solid. These are all gradient, all symbols. Why? Simple fill, I want it to be solid. Yeah, that's solid. But it says that we should look around from equal interval. We should look at natural breaks. That's Jenks. What does Jenks thing do? Jenks looks like that. And we could do pretty breaks for non-experts. There's your pretty breaks. Then we could do standard deviation and apply it. Either way, you're screwed if you live in these dark areas, and yeah. That's really bad, isn't it? Isn't it? Alright, so I think I've understood that. And move on to pretty breaks. And we want to do natural breaks and set the classes at 10. So natural breaks. Natural. There's no, oh, there it is, natural break. That's Jenks. Set the intervals. Classes? Is that what they mean by intervals? Is that what you mean? Because I got 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you set the classes to 10, is that what you mean? Boom, like that. And then classes to 10. Color ramp has got to be orange-red. And then say OK. It's got to be orange-red. But I see no way to make my color ramp orange-red except I made it orange-red. There isn't any known as orange-red. Is there? There's nothing. It's like a big joke. Current. Yeah, right. Well, so there's nothing. There's nothing there that says orange-red. It's just me doing it. I've made orange and red. Yay for me. Say apply. Well, there we are. Scary stuff in the ocean. Planet out of control. Say okay. Scary stuff. Right then. Now, temperature change is my orange reds in there. And symbology is there. If the legend's not visible, then click the plus sign. It is visible. Oh no, it's not visible. So click the plus sign. That is so you can see who's not and who is the hottest. Alright then. So that was cute. And then annual mean temperature change from the present to the middle of the century. Symbolizes these natural breaks. The regions in darker red will experience more warning at the end of the century, those in lighter orange. Zoom in and draw a box around the continental United States and then answer this question. Which regions in the continental US, according to this data set, appear to have the most warming in the middle of the century? It's really not fair and fun, is it? Because we didn't cause the problem, did we? It was those Brazilians, according to our representatives in Tallahassee. Oh, really? Ouch. When you zoom in, things don't look good at all. Ooh, well that's bad. So actually Florida is actually going to do better than these northern areas. Oh, I wouldn't want to be in Wisconsin. Oh, yick. Well, that's pretty scary. Although, it should be, this is flipped with that. Like, I don't understand why that. I'm going to have to change this color for this guy. That fill color should be lighter. If I can. And this one should be the darkest. I think this one should be like really bad red. Yeah, it still stinks. I mean, you don't want to be up in there. Look at those pixel values. That's crazy. So don't move to Canada. I thought it was going to move to Canada because it was going to get better. But this map seems to be saying the opposite. Unless the things are absolutely backwards. That doesn't make sense either. Or maybe it does make sense. That would mean that the hottest areas would be the ocean here, and the coolest areas would be up there. So maybe it is completely inverted, for all I know. Although the numbers don't lie. This is high numbers and these are low numbers. So something's going on that requires an explanation. Alright, so it would be the northern parts. Which regions globally? It would be the northern parts. Turn off the temperature change by unchecking that, and then save your project, name it exercise 1, and you're done with exercise 1. So you'd say project, save as, exercise 1. All right, well then let us end this video, and we'll go on to the second part, exercise 2. See you in the next one. This one took us, by the way, see if it tells us duration. That doesn't tell us how long. It took a while. So at 2 points an hour, you make a lot of it. All right. Bye.